very good Sunday to each and every one of you. Welcome to Buffalo, New York for the final game for these two teams in the Buffalo Prospects Challenge for 2025. I'm Matt Laughlin, joined by Boston's radio play-by-play announcer Ryan Johnson. So pleased that you could join us for this game between the Devils and the Boston Bruins. And as their prospects wrap up their run here in this tournament, Ryan, your thoughts about what we might see this afternoon from the Boston Bruins prospects as they try to pick up their second win in 2 games.
Yeah, it's only the second. They're only playing 2 games as opposed to the 3 that New Jersey's playing here this weekend. But, you go back to Friday's game, I think some of the older, more experienced guys who are going to be pushing for jobs in training camp started to assert themselves in that game. Defensively, I think there were some things that need to be cleaned up. There was a lot of open scoring chances. But guys like Fraser Minton, who's expected to maybe challenge for the number 3 center spot in Boston coming out of training camp, thought he played a good, solid 2-way game, had a couple of scoring chances he wasn't able to convert, forced some turnovers in the defensive end in the neutral zone. So guys like that the team is hoping to see something from this weekend, I think got off to a good start here on Friday.
He certainly will challenge for a position with the regular squad in the upcoming season, and I think getting him a jump start, as the Devils have done with 2 of the guys who will push for a spot, Shane LaChance and Seamus Casey. Get them in running fashion, if you will. Knock off the rust and be ready to go when camp opens, although we won't see either of those 2 players today. Both are scratches. I should note that Boston is looking for its first win in this tournament, a late goal against Pittsburgh, or by Pittsburgh, and the Penguins won in game number 1. But I love this setup here. You get to see a lot of teams, you get to see a lot of names that you've heard about from a draft perspective that hold some sort of a future, whether it's in the NHL or not, but bear watching, that's for sure. Who are some of the players other than Fraser Minton, et cetera, that we should keep an eye on today?
Well, Donzlo Schmelis is one for me. He's a 4th-round draft pick. He comes out of University of Massachusetts, where he had a solid season last year. He's turning pro this year. He got off to a great start. He signed with the Providence Bruins at the tail end of last season, had 12 points in 6 games to finish out the AHL regular season. So that's a guy who, again, you'd like to see something from. I think, Bruins fans, you've heard that name for a little while. He's been in the organization, but we haven't had a chance to really see him until now. I think, Zajac, the goaltender, the other day was tremendous. Szymon Zajac, who was a free agent. They signed out of the Czech Republic. He's 24 years old, kind of comes out of nowhere. Get our first look at him the other day. Stopped 30 out of 32 shots in that game. He was tremendous. Today we'll get a look at Ben Hrebeck, 19-year-old goalie that, again, I think Bruins fans don't know a whole lot about. He's here on an invitation. He actually was at the Carolina Hurricanes developmental camp earlier in the summer. So the Bruins will get a first look at him today and see if that might be somebody they want to add to the mix here down the road.
The Devils will start in goal Trenton Bennett, who was a 4th-round pick in June's draft. And I'm curious to see what a 6'8 goalie, 6'8 in socks, never mind on skates, what he looks like. But this is a player that's intriguing from the standpoint not only his size, but he spent most of last year in the CCHL and then transitioned to the OHL and only played a handful of games. So there's something there, obviously, if he's a 4th-round draft pick, but he, for the most part, hasn't played at the highest level of junior. So we'll see what he has to bring to the table today. And while I don't believe we're going to see Nathan Lecomte, certainly with the big fellas, whether it's in the AHL or the ECHL, well, part of his play will determine that. But he's looking for his 4th goal. He's been the surprise from a Devils standpoint. He's got a scoring touch.
Yeah, I think, the Devils have certainly not had a lack of scoring in their first 2 games of this tournament. Bruins only put up 1 goal the other day. 3rd period especially, they were able to generate some scoring chances. The 1 goal they did get was kind of a fluky, out of nowhere goal, so they weren't able to cash in on the scoring chances that they really did put together in that last 20 minutes of that game against Pittsburgh. So I think the coaching staff would love to see the puck in the net a few more times today.
Maverick Lachance was the goal scorer in the game against Pittsburgh. He'll be on the ice today for the Boston Bruins prospects. Devils, as Ryan mentioned, have certainly shown an ability to score goals. 8 in their first game against Columbus, 4 in their win in game number 2. And so, yeah, the scoring touch has been something that has been good to see. I know as a broadcaster, I like goals. I can appreciate a 2-0 game, but I like goals.
Well, I think we all like goals. And, one of the big questions with the big club this year for the Bruins is how many are they going to get, and who's going to be scoring them. And so, even at this level, we'd like to see that offense pop a little bit more than it did on Friday.
All right, we're getting ready for the national anthems of Canada and the United States as we are just moments away from the start of today's game. The national anthems of Canada and the United States. That is the tradition here in Buffalo, which is where this game unfolds. We are at the Lecom Harbor Center, and it's the Devils and the Boston Bruins. For those Devils fans tuning in, I'm Matt Laughlin. I'm joined by my fellow radio side, although we're now on the digital end of the spectrum only, but the radio broadcaster for the Boston Bruins, Ryan Johnston. It's a blended broadcast with a blended viewing audience, and so we welcome both sides to today's game as we get ready for action here in Buffalo. It'll be Ben Hrebeck, in the goal to our left and in the goal to our right. Trenton Bennett for the New Jersey Devils, as Matthias Malofsky for New Jersey settles in for the opening face-off. Jake Schultz for the Boston Bruins, and Schmaltz wins the face-off. And we are underway. Ethan Edwards lays it off in the corner. Here's Tag Bertuzzi. No Shane Lachance for the New Jersey Devils. Neither will Seamus Casey play for those Devils fans looking to see two of the more prominent names on this roster.
A couple of lineup changes for Boston today. Oliver Turner, Robert Cronin both get inserted into the lineup. Mitch Young and Ty Sheveldayoff come out in game two.
Mikhail Diot with a long-range shot. First save of the game on the first shot. Long-range blast, steered aside rather easily. And now Edwards hands it off to Schmaltz. Broken stick, meaning that McKinnon had to play the puck with his skates. Well done. But now the Devils come out of their own end. David Roosevelt has to go off his blade. Squires intercepts the pass, but now it's Lachance moving out to center ice. Lachance chips it in. And now we get a whistle for offside.
Maverick Lachance, lone goal scorer for the Bruins on Friday in the loss to Pittsburgh. Headed to Merrimack College in North Andover, Mass. next season. Committed for the 26-27 season here on an invitation.
Big year last year with Sherbrooke when he scored 34 goals.
Yeah, put up 59 points in 52 games. Some of those gaudy numbers you see that come out of those junior leagues.
Here's Squires for the Devils, lays it off, but offside is called on the play. And we'll have another face-off. Third game in 4 days for the New Jersey Devils. And my experience, Ryan, in this tournament is that the legs start to be a little bit of an issue. They knock off the summer rust and they get into it, and the adrenaline flows for the first couple of games, but now you start to feel a little heavy.
One of the points that I've heard a lot here in the last week as we get an icing there against Boston from Bruins management and coaching staff is some of these guys are, going right from here back to Boston, and they'll be part of the big club's camp. And the fact that that can give them a little bit of a head start. You talk about knocking the rust off. The NHL players are going through captain's practices and doing that, but these guys will have, 2 or 3 games under their belt to, get their game going before they start taking on the big club.
Josh Philman off the draw, plays it back to the blue line. It eludes Jim Dow Jr., and the Devils have to regroup. But now here's Alex Campbell. Nice reach there by Gallagher, knocking the puck to the corner, and Boston in control. Just underway here, first period, and that shot deflected out of play. 1 shot on the board for the Devils. Boston still looking for their first, a little over 2 minutes in.
Should it make us feel old when we start seeing the sons of players that we've called show up on the score sheet? Jimmy Dowd Jr. is certainly one of those.
Yeah, his dad is in attendance. He's been here throughout the tournament, of course, and scored the game-winning goal in Game 2 of the 1995 Stanley Cup playoffs. Devils sweeping Detroit that year, their first of 3 cups, and you're right. You remember these kids around the rink, and you go, oh, my.
I know Shane LaChance isn't playing, but his dad actually finished his career in Lowell, Massachusetts, in the American Hockey League when I was calling games there.
Now the director of U.S. Scouting for the New Jersey Devils. Here's Davis, Cole Davis, first game of this tournament. Hadlin moves in, a rising shot deflected off the glass. So those 2 players, Caleb Hadlin and Cole Davis, playing in their first game of this tournament, as is the Devils goalie, Trenton Bennett. Now to the blue line. Flipped in front, blocked there by Hanzel. Devils across line. Here's Lecomte, 3 goals in this tournament. 4 points for the youngster, as now Diot races back to his own end. Chased down by Riley Duran. Able to escape, flips it up ahead, off a stick, controlled in the center circle, and chipped in by Brian Carabas, North Reading, Massachusetts native, who has gotten on the score sheet frequently for the Devils in this tournament. Johansson has it knocked away. Here's Lenny Hamanaho. To the blue line it goes. Shot deflects to the corner. Cronin stepped in front. Now Tag Bertuzzi. Speaking of names that are associated with the National Hockey League, his dad, Todd Bertuzzi, has a save made on the second shot of the game by the New Jersey Devils. And now Schmaltz one-arms it in. I don't know, Ryan, about you. I was thinking about this the other day. I think more offspring of hockey players follow their dad's pursuits than in any other sport. Certainly they are in basketball and they are in baseball, but it seems to me a far greater amount of offspring pursue the hockey side of things and succeed.
Well, it's in your blood, right? If you love this game, you grow up around this game. It's something that you can't get rid of, and I would imagine even more so when your father's been playing in the National Hockey League. It's very easy to get caught up in it.
This will be icing. 15:20 to go in the first period. No score. Shots are 3-0 in favor of the Devils.
I'll make a quick mention for Bruins fans tuning in today. If you've been wondering if you've seen the new jerseys that have been all over social media, the new home and away jersey is going to be going up for sale officially this coming Saturday, 1 p.m. at the Boston Bruins Pro Shop in person. Pro Shop powered by 47 at the Hub on Causeway at TD Garden. You can also get them online at bostonproshop.com. And if you stop by next Saturday or Sunday, you can enter for a chance to win tickets for opening night as well.
Who do the Bruins open with?
They're going to open in Washington and then the next night at home against Chicago.
Washington coming off a great year. Here's a chance in front, but not able to get the shot off is Roosevelt. Drive deflects to the corner. Malone with the blast. Squires hands it off. Henzel sends it wide. Bancroft looks to clear, and he does. Washington had a great year. Don't know what Chicago will do this year. Obviously, they're still in a rebuilding mode. How much improvement will they show?
There's a lot of teams around the league that can kind of put in that department.
That is true.
Expectations are all over the map.
Devils open up with 3 on the road. Diot with a shot well wide. Puck was rolling a bit, and he didn't get it all. And here's Fraser Minton. Played for Toronto last year, part of a deal, so he played with the Maple Leafs and then had a chance with the Boston Bruins. He also played with Providence and the Toronto Marlies.
Four different teams last year at 2 different levels. And, he 6 games in Boston, 15 games with the big club up in Toronto. So 21 NHL games to his credit as a rookie. And lots expected out of him for this young man. And, Ryan Mougenel, who's the Providence Bruins head coach, and he's behind the bench for Boston's squad, talked this week about how many phone calls and text messages he got from people connected to the Maple Leafs or from Fraser's past that, when that trade came and they knew that they were getting him, people were excited. This is a talent. And I heard similar things from people up in Toronto. They were not happy to lose him from their prospect pipeline last year. That trade, of course, Brandon Carlo deal as he went to Toronto at the deadline.
Boston making a whole bunch of changes and grabbing a whole bunch of picks and prospects for the future. I know nobody likes to use the rebuild, and I won't necessarily use it here.
It's a retooling.
It's a retooling. Yes. It's a change for sure. But if Pastrnak can do his thing, oh, what a save by Bennett. If Pastrnak and company can do their thing, get some help from the bottom, that retooling may not take all that long. First shot of the game for Boston, and what a save by Trenton Bennett. Here's Philman, tries to play it down low. It's cleared away by Grayson Brzezinski.
Los Mellis got that turnover in front of the net, set up Duran for that great opportunity, as was the case on Friday. Bruins need to find a way to bury more of those.
Riley Duran, Massachusetts native. Here's a shot and a save, and we'll have a face-off. 12:49 to go in the first period.
And we talked about Duran during our broadcast on Friday a little bit. His dad's a longtime high school hockey coach in Woburn, Massachusetts. And so as a coach's son, you kind of expect that he thinks the game a little bit differently than your average player.
2020 draft for the Boston Bruins. Carabas has it poked away. And the puck chipped free to center ice. Nathan Lecomte will pick it up. Now Carabas dumps it in. Carabas had a start of his collegiate career at Boston University, played 2 years there, ended at Minnesota State. Not a big guy, but has a nose for the puck and not afraid to get that nose dirty. Manaho taking it across the line, watched by McKinnon. Steps on the brakes, goes cross ice. Oh, a tic-tac-toe try doesn't connect as Malofsky was set up in front. Bertuzzi's pass not quite leading to that goal, and we're still looking for the first as the puck goes out of play.
Yes,
it does.
Well,
it went out of play.
Officials didn't realize it.
I saw it hit the
players
netting.
all did.
Players did. But we'll play on. You know, it's Sunday, and it's the end of the tournament for these two teams, so we'll just roll on.
Well, the Bruins-Penguins game on Friday took just a shade under 2 hours, so maybe we'll try and set the record here this afternoon.
Bennett with the cover-up. He's headed to St. Lawrence University. Last year with Kemptville in the CCHL, he was 13-15-2, then played for Owen Sound. Again, not many starts or action in the OHL, and so he is someone who's just trying to keep elevating his game, learning as he goes along in terms of what he needs to do to succeed at the next level. We'll see what he does in college and follow his career. 4th-round draft pick of the Devils in 2025. One of 3 goalies brought to this tournament by the Devils. Each have gotten a chance, and we expect Bennett to play the whole game. No score, 11-12 to go in the first period. Matt Locklear along with Ryan Johnston. Glad you could join us as the puck rolls in front of Hrebic. Swept to the corner. 4 shots for the Devils, 1 for the Bruins as Minton digs it free. Johansson for LaChance. And poked away by Hansel, taken by Roosevelt. He centers, here's the good scoring chance, but it rings off the crossbar and sails out of play. Jack Malone can't believe it.
Yeah, if there was one thing coming out of Friday's loss that I thought really stood out that the Bruins needed to do better, it was the D-zone coverage. And you see it again right there. Open shots from between the circles. You know, they left Zajac out to dry the other day. Hrebic gets the friendly bounce off the crossbar here.
Malone sits on the bench frustrated. Malone, a Jersey kid, born in California but raised in Jersey. Shot from the blue line by Jim Dow Jr. Deflected away, and now Boston in a race for the puck.
Malone's another guy in that New Jersey roster with the Boston connection. Spent a year at BC before heading on to Cornell.
Yep. Loose puck inside the blue line. Berzinski now Mitten, and he wrists one home. Bennett was tied up in front. And Fraser Mitten breaks the seal, and it's a 1-0 Boston lead.
Yeah, nice pass out of the corner there, too, by Brett Harrison. And that's, you know, this line, Minton and Harrison especially, you've got guys with a little bit more experience. You know, they both played at the NHL level last year. They both played at the NHL, you know, or Minton at least had, as we talked about, NHL experience as well. But Harrison's looking to break through after spending the last 2 years in Providence and take advantage of that opportunity there. And again, with Minton, that's what Boston is hoping to see. They know what he can do at the defensive end. Can he chip in a little bit more offensively? That's going to help him make the big club.
3rd-round draft pick, Brett Harrison, as he helped set up that goal for Fraser Minton, the goal coming at 9:42. And it was Dalton Bancroft who was in front of the net setting that screen. Here's Edwards at the blue line. Now Boston on the attack. Centering pass. Poked away, and Hadlin lays it off now for Carabas. Drives down the left wing side. Centers, and it goes off the stick of Luke Reed. From the blue line, Edwards drive steered wide by Hrebic. Battle in the near corner. Hadlin in there for the Devils. McKinnon one of the two Boston Bruins, and now it's McKinnon with the puck. Devils making a change as Bennett looks around. No trapezoid here at Lacombe Harbor Center. I haven't seen too many goalies take advantage of that, a la Marty Brodeur. Here's a chance. Oh, a rifle by Malofsky. He goes top shelf, and the game is tied at 1.
Just a wicked shot right up over Hrevic's shoulder by Malofsky. Talked about some of the numbers these guys put up in juniors. Malofsky with 83 points in 57 games last year in the Quebec Major Junior League with Baie-Comeau. Gets the Devils on the board here and ties the game.
His first goal of the tournament, and it comes at 10:47, just a little over a minute after Boston took the lead. So we're tied at 1 halfway through, a little more than halfway through the first period. Matt Laughlin along with Ryan Johnson. Glad you decided to spend some of your Sunday. Maybe you'll be with us for the entirety of our coverage. We understand there's a game that's played with that ball that takes some funny bounces because of the shape of it. That will be starting soon. Jets playing Buffalo. Of course, that's big news here in Buffalo, the game being played at MetLife Stadium. And New England will be getting underway shortly as well.
Down in Miami, where I believe they are expecting some weather today. So who knows when that game might actually get completed.
There was some weather down there last night as the Hurricanes game, the college game, was delayed. Here's Gallagher at the right point with a shot, hit a body in front, picked up and swept clear by Squires. On to Roosevelt, his uncle Michael Roosevelt. Fans may be familiar with that name. Jackson Vandaley sends it wide. He was looking for a tip here. Squires. Knocked down by Gallagher. Gets it to the corner, though. Picked up by Malone. Slides it to the blue line. Dowd comes cross ice. Vandalist in front for the redirect that goes wide. That was Roosevelt who just missed. Now Squires. Good pressure here by the Devils. Vandalist for Dowd. His shot off a stick. And now taken by Brzezinski. Bertuzzi, as you're in the background, picking up the assist on Malofsky's goal for Tag Bertuzzi. That's his 4th assist of this tournament. Our score, 7:07 to go. During the intermission, you'll be able to see, and for those who are listening on the Devils Hockey Network, hear some features produced by the Bruins content team and the Devils content team as a shot rolls through Bennett off the deflection and goes wide. So stay with us for the first intermission report. Edwards has a stick lifted by Minton. Davis battling at center ice with Harrison. Bancroft has it for a moment, but it's cleared by Campbell. Alex Campbell has a Boston connection. He played his last year of collegiate hockey at Northeastern. Devils fans know we got a lot of love for Northeastern. As a chance for Lecomte. Couldn't put it on net. Good defensive play made there by the Boston Bruins, Robert Cronin. Jim Madigan, longtime coach, administrator there, won a ton of bean pots. His daughter Kate is an assistant general manager of the Devils as the puck sails out of play. So we got a lot of Husky love. I'm not saying that to anger any BU, BC, Harvard fans. We got connections everywhere. Jay Pandolfo, the coach at Boston University.
I mean, you can't swing a stick around the league without hitting somebody from Hockey East, and in particular the Boston area schools. So just about everywhere we go, there are Boston connections.
Oh, yeah. Off the draw, Carabas pushed down, but works the puck free. Here comes Hanzel. Defenseman hands it off to Lecomte, creates some space, but getting a piece of it was Duran. Now Hadlin can't get a shot off. Good stick work by the Bruins. Hanzel controls at the blue line. 5:38 to go, 1-1 our score. Minton for Boston, Malofsky for the Devils. 7 shots for the Devils, 3 for Boston. We get our first penalty of the game.
Yeah, it looks like Loki Johansson's going to go here, or hit along the wall as they were battling for that puck.
It'll be a cross check, sending him to the box. Tell us a little bit about him. Just, a young, big prospect, kind of learning the North American side of things.
Yeah, 19-year-old Swede, spent last year in the Quebec Major Junior League, and he's a 6th-round draft pick. Kind of a, big, raw defenseman that, he's got some upside. And actually, at the end of last season, so there was a quote from Adam McQuaid, who's the director of player development for the Bruins, and he said he thinks he's ready for an AHL season this year. So we'll see how that works out for him coming out of camp. But, so far I've liked what I've seen from him as a guy that, could potentially be a future piece on the back end.
6'3", 214 pounds, 19-year-old from Stockholm, sitting out the cross-check penalty. Devils trying to snap the 1-1 tie. Here's Hamanaho for Bertuzzi. Puck hops off his stick, and now it's Gallagher shorthanded down the right wing side, but ahead of the play, and the Bruins are offside.
Good jump there from Gallagher to sense that turnover in the neutral zone and jump up from the back end. Unfortunately, just didn't work out at the blue line, but there's another BU kid, Ty Gallagher, spent last year at Colorado College to finish off his college career, but good to see him show some aggression from the back end, even shorthanded.
Devils have 1:10 to go in the power play. We're coming up on 4.5 remaining in the first in a 1-1 tie. Devils looking to conclude this tournament at 3-0. Boston playing just 2 games in the tournament, looking for their first win. They lost 2-1 against Pittsburgh earlier. Diot dances along the blue line. Now it's Roosevelt. Plays it to the corner. Lecomte skates behind the net. Devils with the man advantage. Now here's Philman getting it back from Diot. Tried to slide it to Lecomte. It was blocked but not cleared. Battle at the blue line. Now it does come free. Devils will have to clear the zone. Half minute to go in Boston's penalty kill. Nice cross-ice pass as Carabas takes the feed. Centers, but it was a little bit behind Lecomte. And now it's wired all the way down on the bank try by Duran.
Yeah, Riley Duran on the back check, able to help force that turnover.
Power play winding down. 5 seconds remaining in the Devils' man advantage. As Edward plays it long range on goal, and that'll do it. Out of the box is Johansson, and we're skating 5 aside. Oh, Hadlin slowed down at center ice. Harrison said, yeah, I'm guilty. There's a delayed call coming up. Bennett heads to the bench for the extra skater, and now we get the whistle. It was an obvious call, but Harrison, certainly by his body language, let everybody know that he had committed the infraction, and so the Devils will go back on the power play with 3:12 to go in the first period.
Yeah, get that stick out there, just slow him up enough, and a little bit too much for the officials' liking, so Harrison will sit down and give New Jersey another power play here in this first period. Bruins have killed off the 2 penalties that they have taken so far in this tournament.
It's a hooking call that sends Harrison to the penalty box. 16:48 is the time of the call. Edwards with a long-range shot, stick save made. Ethan Edwards coming out of the University of Michigan. Edwards with it again, slides it near side for Squires. Now out high to Edwards. Squires for Malofsky, who has the Devils' goal, centering pass. Bertuzzi grabs it, banks it out high. Shane LaChance is the big net front presence, or was the big net front presence on the Prospects team on the first power play unit, but he is not playing today. Blast by Hamanaho, stopped as it's kicked out. Now it's Hamanaho again. Horebic with the big save with a minute 10 to go in the power play. 1-1 our score. Edwards, the left point, has some room. Now in the circle, he's in deep, can't get a shot off. McKinnon got in his way. Edwards sweeps out high, slides it down low, and it deflects and cleared by Boston. Good PK shown by the Bruins with 45 to go in their second man disadvantage. Here's Josh Philman. Now with the blue line, offside is called. Big year for Josh Philman in terms of a scorer in junior, and now you're expected to be able to continue that as you move along in your career, and Devils are trying to see what he'll do in his second year as a pro.
Yeah, those guys that are kind of on the, on the cusp of, like a Philman spent most of the year in the East Coast League last year. Got to look at the AHL level. Can he make that jump to the next level now and continue the progression as he moves into his second full pro season?
Puck goes out of play. Faceoff will be in the Boston end. 1:44 to go in the first. 33 remaining in the Devils' power play. Lecomte, Carabas, Philman, Diot, and Roosevelt out there for the Devils. Schmaltz on the faceoff. He wins it, and Boston clears. Jake Schmaltz ended his time at North Dakota last year, got a taste of the pro life, played a handful of games with the Providence Bruins. Diot gains the zone. Now Lecomte for Philman, 14 to go in the man advantage. Roosevelt double teamed in the corner. Carabas comes in, provides some help, plays it to an open corner. Edwards will get there, and he'll clear. There's an Edward and an Edwards on this Boston Bruin team. Edwards, who cleared, is a forward. Edward is a defenseman.
And an Edwards on the Devils side as well.
Yes.
Jackson Edward defensively, Dylan Edwards up front.
Final minute of play here in the first. Again, we will have feature content from both the Boston Bruins and the New Jersey Devils during the intermission as Dowd's shot deflects just wide. Game tied at 1. Fraser Minton for Boston started the scoring. A minute 5 later, Devils tied it up. Matthias Malofsky with his first of the tournament. Now here's Davis, Cole Davis. Slowed down by Chandler, finds Hadlin, backhands one on net. A save is made, it's bouncing free in front and picked up by the Bruins, and they'll skate it out. Lachance slowed down from behind, and now Hadlin turns it to the right wing side with 6 seconds to go. Davis pushed that by Minton, and that should do it, and it will. Good first period. The ice tilted a little bit Devils' way, but it's 1-1, and at the end of the game, they just go, how do you do? And it's who scored the most goals.
Exactly. Just count them all up at the end, and we'll tell you who wins. But no, I thought a solid first period in both directions. Again, I think this is kind of what we're, going to be looking at all levels from the Bruins this year. Is how do they do in the defensive zone? How do they adjust to the new system that Marco Sturm is going to be installing here? And not a bad first period, all things considered.
1-1 our score again. Minton with the goal for Boston at 9:42 to get us underway. At 10:47, just a minute 5 later, was Matthias Malofsky with his first goal of the tournament for the Devils. And so we are tied at 1 after 1. We will take a timeout. As mentioned, you will get content from the Devils and Bruins side during our intermission. In the second period, Ryan Johnston will take over in the play-by-play role. But we've got some time between now and then, 15:58 and counting. Get your stopwatches going as we've hit the first intermission. Game tied at 1 here in Buffalo, and now it's off to our intermission report.
What? Oh, the camera's this way, is it? That's right. Yeah. I'm Happy Gilmore, that's right. I have done bad things, but today I'm doing a good one. How are you? Me too. I'm sorry. All right. The Boston Bruins. What is it? Oh, that's tough. You know it, bro. Go get him, homie! Am I doing something wrong? All right, I think, okay. We are psyched to have you, homie! Well, there's been a trade, so the Bruins aren't picking shit. What the f did I fly in here for?
Hey, here we go, Red, come on! Everyone's first shift here, boys! Oh boy, Doug. Oh boy, Marquis. Now we're joining. Heavy, right? Oh boy, Dolly. Oh boy, Siggy. Good push to pace. Wait, what? Skate. Right, Luke K. Hey, that's a great play. Hey, you do a great job in neutral zone there. You get it to puck deep.
Hughes into the high slot, moves it wide for Luke. Luke shoots, he scores! Circle feeds it across to Jesper Bratt. Bratt pulls the trigger and it trails
in! Great screen, Polly. Nice pass, Jackie. You were waiting for it, too. Yeah. How about that snipe from Lukey? I mean, this is where my career started here in pro hockey, and I mean, I'm super thankful for the opportunity that I got ever since the first day I got here, and now 500 games later, we got another win here in front of the same fans, so it means a lot.
For over a century, the Boston Bruins have stood for more than just hockey. We've stood for a way of doing things. Harder, tougher, louder, and more loyal than anywhere else. Our attitude, our identity, our truth, unchanged. But our legacy is not something to rest on. It's something to live up to. The players, past and present, embody it. The fans carry it. And the city forge it. Together, we turn the page. Built by Boston, powered by tradition.
We're the first point of entry for player personnel. We're identifying guys that are 18 years old that we think could help us down the road win a Stanley Cup. So it's one of the better parts of the job.
We've got some questions that we've got to figure out the answers to, and how do we extract the most out of all these guys? It's drafting, ceiling, but do they have a floor? What if it doesn't work out? What can they be?
I think our identity, we can't lose sight of it. If you look at every team left in the playoffs right now, they have a pretty definitive identity, and they may move pieces in and out each offseason, but their identity doesn't change.
If he doesn't make it as X, what he thinks he's going to make it as, does he have that flexibility of mindset?
It's that from a value perspective in terms of what we're looking at, how hard is it to get a player of that caliber?
We think that their top end is a bottom six, maybe fourth line guy. And the guy that analytics is bringing, we don't think is ever going to play in the NHL, whose ceiling is actually higher.
But
to me, it's the guy that can play.
I also believe it's coaching too. To me, it's the individuals that are coachable, and they follow directions. And if they don't, they can't play.
These kids, sometimes they think by talent I'll be able to do it. But when you get to the NHL level, it's a different ballgame.
We're not coming back with the same guys. We've got some decisions we got to make, and our job is to continue to improve the team. And to me, when you play at a certain level, like we did in the first half, it's there. There's no excuse.
At the end of the day, we're looking for who we think will be the best hockey players at the NHL level. They're going to come to the pro level and face some adversity. The players that survive overcome the adversity and refuse to be denied. That's really why our regional scouts are so important. The more you know about them, the better chance you have at making the right choice.
Well documented, but his friendship with a well-known actor go back a long way. The friendship goes back to the days when both were young and living in Vancouver. Here to speak to us tonight, please welcome Michael J. Fox.
Hey, Mike. What's up, man? Everything good?
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching your jersey retirement, and I'm thinking,
how sweet your sweater is. You think about how cool it would be to go back.
You know, as much as I'd love to, you know, it's been almost 30 years. I've got 4 joint replacements. I can't see. Seriously.
No, that's not what I meant. I was talking about going back to something like this.
Yeah, those were pretty sweet, but I think it's time to look to the future.
People love going back.
You know what? I actually have an idea. Yeah, it's me. Send in 73.
Charlie McAvoy?
Michael, I'm here from the future, and I got a special delivery from your good buddy Cam.
Wow, that's what I was talking about.
Boston built, powered by tradition.
No, Charlie, where you going?
Where I'm going, I don't need my skates.
I think visibility is so important as part of representation.
Everybody look, NJ wants to play with us.
No way, NJ, you can't play with us. Get out of here! Get out!
I said leave, NJ.
Cannonball! Bro! No, please don't. No! Here, you can take it!
Still got it.
I make my bed every morning. I'm a clean guy. So your day starts, right? First task of the day. Got a couple cool jerseys, some teams I played on, and guitar. I can't really play it though, so don't ask for anything yet. Puck's over here. First USHL one, goal record one. My grandpa called me one night and he's like, "Yeah, you're close to this goal record thing." And I asked my coach about it. He's like, "Dang it." He's like, "We're trying to keep it a secret so you weren't starting to think about it." Couldn't have done it alone easily though. I had great teammates.
Today was me and Vinny Lettieri, Ryan McDonough, and Freddie Olofsson, and yeah, it's a good crew and early morning, but it's nice to get it done and have the rest of the day.
All right, fellas, wish us luck today. Feels early this morning.
What are we doing? Usually take a little bit of time off, not too much, but you know, when you're getting back into it to find the right feels and get your body in the right positions, and then usually at the end of the summer you're ramping it up more and playing more games and things like that, so definitely a good way to start.
Don't even need shoulder pads, man. Show me, trucker. Is that right? And then this way?
Well, this year's a little different because I'm going to school, so I kind of had to shorten up my off-season training. So yeah, getting closer to dev camp, kind of ramp it up a little bit more and get my body used to going at those high speeds and high pace. Yeah, so this is a group we've been having all summer. It's good to have a little group out there that gets competitive. I mean, early in the morning. I mean, usually in the season you try to tone it down a little bit, but you kind of got to get out sometimes to get the competitive juices going. So it's good to have the guys out there to just get better and get after it in the morning.
He's a big boy. We're at my house here in Minnesota, home gym, I guess. I just put it in, actually. It's a little messy right now. The weather's been brutal here, but yeah, I just came back from skate, about to get a workout in, and then go enjoy the day from there.
Oh, you're coming down here. He's out here a lot too, a good amount, so don't hit me in the face. Oh. Not allowed to shoot down here too much anymore because it shakes the house now.
He's been driven for so long that it's not really a surprise. He was doing 10,000 pucks when he was our little guy at Benny's age.
If it was 30 below zero, they would cancel out our practice, and he would say, "Mom, can you still take me so I can skate around and you can just sit in the warming house?"
Oh, he gets the bingo, Benny!
I bet you was he was 2 years old and he had a Sioux stick and a Sioux jersey on. So, I mean, that's what.
These boys rolling around. I know Zach.
Boston's a great town, great program. Love to see him be a part of that next wave of players coming in, so it'll be exciting.
I'm gonna get hot now. Sauce crossbar. Yeah. For the cameras, thanks guys.
Survived the first tee box. I know, I didn't know he was gonna be wearing the Maple Leafs hat, huh? Good read. Oh no. This is good content, huh? Let's go. Come back now. I'm just happy I didn't go in. It's a bogey save. That felt like a birdie.
I'm right down the pipe.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
That's where they have you mic'd up, because you're right in the mix.
They might not see me over Dermy.
Dermy has good hair too.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, just chirp Luke about his hair.
Does look good, actually.
Good? Good? It looks like he just got out of bed. Where are you next to?
I'm like right down the middle. I don't know who I'm beside. I think I'm beside Nemo. This is the scary part. Am I beside you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to say you're this way. I could be wrong though.
Okay, just don't say anything crazy. Where's Dermy? I think I'm behind Dermy.
Last year on that side.
Bass messed me up.
So my email said, like, make sure you wear a black suit. I was like...
Going to the rink in a black suit.
Yeah.
Are you
I play voice of the Bruins, joined by Matt Laughlin. I got to get that right. From the New Jersey Devils
Just
broadcast
don't call me late
team.
for a meal.
There you go. It is a 1-1 game as we get ready to start the second period. Scoring in that first period, Bruins got on the board first. Fraser Minton set up by Brett Harrison and Grayson Brzezinski to get Boston on the board at the 9:44 mark of the first period, but just over a minute later, It was the Devils' Matias Malovsky with the assist to tag Bertuzzi, and that's got it a 1-1 game as we go to the second. New Jersey had a pair of power play opportunities in that first period. Bruins have yet to get a chance with the man advantage, and New Jersey with a 10-4 shots advantage as we get ready to start stanza number 2.
The Devils have shown in the first 2 games in this tournament, both of which they won, there are moments when their play dips a little bit and the other team will crawl back into it. In this case, it would be Boston taking the lead. I'll see if they can play a more complete game. In the end, they would find their way and find their rhythm again, and as I mentioned, they've won the 2.
Bertuzzi giving into the middle to Malovsky. Malovsky going to drag it through neutral ice and across the Boston line. Shot it wide of Hrebeck. Battle for possession in the near corner. Johansson in there for Boston up against Haminaho. Dylan Edwards played into the middle. Edwards got into a fight in the first game. He had to answer for a hit that he put on Ben Kindle from the Penguins and ended up taking on a much larger player, but he said, nothing new for me. He said, fighting not really part of my game, but I'm willing to do it when it needs to be done, and handled himself well. Not the biggest guy in the world. In 5'8", 174.
And won't be asked to play that role, but it's good from a coach's perspective and from a teammate's perspective that he won't back down.
Sure. Shot kicked aside by Hrebeck. It'll go behind the net. Squeezed past Malone. Backhanded up the wall. Kept in by Enzel, and Schmaltz got it to the blue line but not out. Knocked away from him by Malone, who's got the puck on his stick. Free puck in that far circle. Johansson tapped it along. Bruins still looking to clear, and they will. That's going to go for icing. Boston got themselves hemmed in the defensive zone quite a bit. First 2 periods against Pittsburgh the other day. Had some lengthy stretches where they just couldn't get that puck out. They do here, but they'll have a defensive zone faceoff.
Full disclosure, I left after 2 periods in that game.
You missed the best part.
I know. We had a game. The Devils had a game that night, so I went back to kind of wrap up some preparation. And when I realized what had happened in the third, I was disappointed I didn't stick around because, to your point, yeah, Boston was hemmed in. It didn't look like much of a battle in the third would ensue.
Third period was the exact opposite. They spent most of the period in the offensive zone. Here's Chandler chasing a puck into the Devils' end. Couldn't get it in front as he was knocked against the wall by Vandalist. 2 of them continued to tangle as the puck started to move up ice. Devils will go now. Campbell coming up the right side, cutting into the middle. Trying to feed it for Davis. No one can find the handle. Chandler back checking has it. Turns it back toward the neutral zone. Oliver Turner dumping one around the boards. Edwards dropped it back. Davis took a hit from Vermette. Devils with a 3-on-2 here if they go. Reed from the right circle. A centering pass went all the way through. Carabas stays with it, but an errant pass will angle back toward the New Jersey zone. Good play by Minton to knock one out in midair. Backhanded in front. He was hoping to get Harrison, but instead the Devils move up ice. Carabas trying to drag it back onto his forehand. LeCompte fired a shot that went off the backboards. Bancroft will settle it for Boston. Just over 3 minutes into the second period, tie game. Minton, Bancroft, he collided with Hanzel. Gallagher, dump in got blocked. Now swept deep into the zone by Bancroft as the Bruins trying to get a change done, but the puck was all over in front of their bench. Had to be careful.
Yeah, the dump in try went off of Bancroft, and he was coming off, had to come back on to play it. Got him in the ankle, and it set that play kind of haywire.
Loose puck along the far circle. Haminaho brings it to neutral ice. LeCompte ridden to the wall by Berzinski. Gallagher Out from behind the Bruins net, got knocked down, went awkwardly into the boards. Devils trying to take advantage. Haminaho moving right in. Puck wouldn't quite settle for him there as Horebic stayed with it.
Yeah, good physical play by Haminaho, and then he goes right for the scoring area. He does have a nose for that area of the ice. He knows where to go. He's got good IQ, and he takes the direct route, and everyone who's listening or watching saying, well, yeah, no, that's what you're supposed to do. Trust me, not every player does. You know, it's a misstep, and they're slow to get there. Unfortunately, from a Devil standpoint, that puck rolled free.
Haminaho got it across. Bertuzzi from the right circle. Had to go down to a knee to get that shot off. Collides with Loshmelis in behind the Bruins net. Boston will get the puck cleared. Johansson out to neutral ice. Dowd back onto it for New Jersey. Bertuzzi collides with Johansson. Reed able to keep that puck alive. Now we have a penalty coming up. As McKinnon touched that puck, we get a whistle. It's going to be against New Jersey. They were checking Johansson, who apparently got clipped with a high stick. Cam Squires headed to the box. That'll be a 2-minute minor.
Good chance here for Boston to regain the lead. Devils PK has been good throughout this tournament, and it'll be tested again here.
The Bruins had 3 power play chances against Pittsburgh on Friday. Were not able to capitalize. That included a 4-minute double minor on a high stick. Off this face-off, Gallagher from the left point. Loshmelis to Minton, and one-timer goes wide. In the far corner, battle for possession. Minton comes in and pulls it out of the fray. Loshmelis stepping in left circle. Up top for Gallagher. Gave it up and got it right back from Harrison. Loshmelis, top of the circle, trying to feed Minton in the slot. Loshmelis to Gallagher. Over to Harrison. Back to Gallagher. Fake to one-timer. Now takes a shot. That blocked by Malone. Gallagher got it right back. Loshmelis couldn't handle the pass, but now does. Harrison on the right side. Backhanded in Minton's direction, got through him. Devils will get a chance to clear as Ethan Edwards sends it the length of the ice.
A lot of work in the perimeter by Boston. Edwards and Malone doing good either stick work or blocking the pucks as they made their way toward the net.
Loshmelis bringing the Bruins forward along with Harrison, who comes to the right side with the puck. Wraps it around toward the near boards. LaChance squeezing against the wall but couldn't knock down. Diot's clear. Brzezinski skating back just ahead of Campbell as he circles back behind the net. 45 seconds left in the Bruins power play. LaChance all the way around the boards to the far side. Kept in by Duran, chasing in behind the net. Gets angled away from it by Davis. They go both to the deck as LaChance gets involved here for Boston as well. Clock ticking down to 25 seconds left in the power play. Brzezinski at the blue line. Pass off to that right side again for Chandler. Here's Simpson. Pass off the leg of Diot. Kicked right to Brzezinski, and he threw it toward the net. Duran pursues into the far corner. LaChance. Chandler. Shot, scores! Cole Chandler, when in doubt, just throw it at the net. See if something good will happen. It does. Bruins with a power play goal. Grab a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, and one that Bennett would like back. I mean, every goalie might say that on most goals, but boy, that one went off of him, and as he skates to the corner, moves around a little bit, Chandler will take it. Boston will take it, but it was a misplay by the young goalie. But fair credit to Boston. They had more zone time, as you should, on the power play. Most of it, again, was perimeter, but put pucks on net. It's one of the things that drives me crazy. You look for the perfect shot. Sometimes just get it through and good things will happen.
So Cole Chandler, 18-year-old out of Halifax, Nova Scotia, committed to Northeastern for the 26-27 season. Gets his first point of the weekend. So we get a whistle and an icing here against Boston. 12:35 to play in the second period. Bruins have the lead for the second time today.
Well, you know, give Boston credit from this standpoint as well. Only 5 shots on goal, but they've scored on 40% of them. They've got the 2-1 lead. They're being outshot, and to a degree they're being outplayed, but the scoreboard tells a different story. So the bend, don't break method, the approach working this afternoon.
And there's another one as Vandalise throws one to the net, and that finds its way in, and the Devils tie it at 2 very quickly.
Well, if it's good for the goose, good for the gander, as they say. Vandalise just decides to put it in front. He had someone cutting in front that might have been able to tip it, but it got through, and the screen obviously benefiting the Devils. And suddenly, as we saw in the first period, Boston scores, Devils with a quick strike in return.
So that goal comes just 29 seconds after the Bruins had taken the lead. So Boston has had 2 leads for a grand total of 1:34 seconds in this game. Puck into the Devils zone to resume play as Lachance puts some pressure on Vandalise. Now Chandler wraps it back behind the net. Lachance got it through some traffic back to McKinnon. Shot blocked. Johansson will play it back down low. Vermette ridden into the corner by Vandalise. Puck out into neutral ice. McKinnon backs it up. Johansson to Vermette. Backhander across ice, tipped in deep by Chandler, who will head off on a change. Maverick Lachance credited with the only assist on the goal by Chandler, giving him his second point in 2 games for Lachance. Puck bounding away from Harrison. He tracks it. Gallagher with a drive. Score! Dalton Bancroft was floating in front of the net as that puck redirected, and the Bruins go right back in front 3-2.
Well, Gallagher's leading the fist bump parade, so perhaps Chandler said, wasn't me, you go lead us to the bench off a Devils player. It definitely was redirected. It definitely did not take a straight path in. Well, suddenly we've got a festival of goals.
3 goals in 1:33 seconds. So it's 3-2 Boston, not quite to the midway point of this hockey game. As the puck is lifted over Brzezinski and back down to the Boston territory, Gallagher skates back, gets knocked down by Bertuzzi. That frees the puck up, and a chance there for Molovsky moving in, and Hrebeck able to hold his ground, make the save, and make sure there's no rebound.
Second time in the last 3 minutes or so where there was a Bruin player knocked down, and it led to a scoring opportunity. And I think it was Gallagher the first time around as well, got knocked down from behind.
Defensive zone face-off here for Boston. 3 goals on 6 shots for the Bruins, 2 on 15 for New Jersey. From the side of his own net, Jackson Edward played it around the near side. Molovsky throws one to the net from out near the blue line, knocked down by Hrebeck, and then drops the trapper on top of it. They will give Gallagher credit for the goal. Defenseman who signed a 2-year AHL contract in Providence back in March. Had a goal and 4 assists in his 11 games to finish out the season there. Coming out of Colorado College, where he spent his final year of his college career after 3 seasons at Boston University. Bruins looking to press here with Simpsons. Stepping across the line, fires a shot, save made. Loschmelis had the rebound, couldn't tee it up as he was off balance coming through the top of the crease.
Beautiful toe drag to create some space, but just couldn't tee it up and put it into a wide open net.
Jackson Edward from just inside the red line sends one around the glass in the New Jersey zone. Halfway through the second period, Boston 3, New Jersey 2 here at the Prospects Challenge in Buffalo. Schmaltz and Reed going one-on-one into the corner. Reed with position. Gets some help from Ethan Edwards. Reed with the puck back on his stick. Up into neutral ice. Johansson put Davis into the wall. That pass evaded Dylan Edwards. Davis starts New Jersey forward. Philman trying to fight his way past Johansson. Gets knocked to the deck. Devils still maintain possession and a chance by Campbell. And that one went fluttering up over the net. Cronin, well, backhand to the blue line. Edwards finds a cutting Schmaltz. Hands it off on that right side. Knocked off the stick of McKinnon. And the Devils will try to head free with numbers here, but Bruins able to scurry back. McKinnon wins that puck and then promptly ices it with 8:59 to go in the second period.
Looked like it might have been a promising rush for the Devils, but Davis's pass was just behind the trailer and killed any chance for the Devils to do anything. Devils team, I'm sorry, Ryan, the Devils will be bussing back after this game. Camp opens up on Wednesday. Bruins open up on Wednesday as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see who gets home faster tonight. Broadcaster's flight has been delayed back to Boston, so
I hope it's not catching. We have a 7:20 flight back. Team will be bussing, though. You know, there's that dilemma. Get going right away or get home faster. I've done both, and trust me, the 6 hours starts off great here in Buffalo. You head through Western New York. It's pretty. Through Pennsylvania, it's great. Then the last 2 hours, sun goes down. It gets dark. You've been on the bus for 4 hours. It gets to be a bit of a slog. But in this day and age, you just hope the flight leaves on time.
That's
the balance.
After we've already gotten a 2-hour delay, I'm just hoping we get home tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
As Devils will get possession back in their own zone here. Vermette off a takeaway, trying to wrap it around that far post. That was denied, but we'll see another penalty coming here against New Jersey. And a second opportunity on the power play for the Bruins after they cashed in on their first.
It'll be Vandelis going off.
Vandelis, by the way, credited with an unassisted goal to tie the game at 2 earlier in the period. And then it was Gallagher from Bancroft to give the Bruins the lead. That one at 8:33. 3-2 Boston and a chance for more with 7:49 to go here in the second. And alongside Matt Lachlan from the Devils broadcast team, I'm Ryan Johnston from the Bruins Radio Network. This joint broadcast here today.
And you'll be back with Bobby Beers on the air again.
Looking forward to it.
Chico Resch will join me in the booth.
You get roped in any Chico Eats segments?
Back in the day, yeah. Now I let him go solo.
Gallagher sets up Bancroft on the right side. Leaves it at the blue line. Gallagher had to come get it. Loschmelet. Bouncing puck. Able to fight through Reed. Centering pass taken away by Roosevelt, and all the way back down ice it goes. Rebick will set it up behind the Bruins net. Rebick seeing his first action of this tournament. Shimon Zajac got the start in game 1, went the whole way, and did very well for himself. As here's Minton getting off a shot, and the stop made by Bennett. Hangs on to it. Faceoff will be in the Devils zone with 55 left on the Boston power play.
You can see a move that a player like Minton can make. First off, skill level will allow him to do that, but also the experience at the higher level, having played in the NHL. Just kind of let the puck out there for a second, pulled it back in, and gave himself a scoring opportunity.
The thing that's impressive about Minton is, you know, again, he's more of a defense-first player, which, you know, at the age of 21, you don't see that often. A guy that you can put out in all situations and you can trust him. Again, what they're hoping is a little bit more pop offensively or a little bit more pressure in the offensive zone because they know what he can do defensively in all three zones.
Yeah, and it's funny because coaches love that defensive responsibility, but at the same time, everyone in the sport knows if you score, you'll open eyes. If you don't score as you're coming up the ranks, it's kind of like, well, what can he really do? But it's that defensive end that will keep you in the league, unless you score 50, in which case all bets are off.
Did put up 3 goals in 21 NHL games last year, had 9 in 37 games in the American Hockey League. As that puck is cleared by Caleb Hadlin, 20 seconds left on the Boston power play. Jumped up into the air, gloved down by Duran, and we get another penalty coming up as Duran had his stick knocked out of his hands, and Boston's going to get an ever so brief 5-on-3 here.
Caleb Hadlin with the slash.
Now 6:02 to go here in the second. Boston leading by 1. It'll be 13 seconds of two-man advantage before the Devils get their first man back. Boston sends out Minton, Bancroft, Loschmelis, Harrison, and Gallagher. They get it back to Gallagher at the left point. Walks it toward the high slot. Over to Harrison for a one-timer, and Bennett got to that far post in time to make the save. Devils clear the puck. Vandalay steps out of the box. So it's back to a 5-on-4. Still a minute 40 to go on that. Gallagher lost it coming through neutral ice. Malone shorthanded trying to take advantage. Couldn't toe drag around Harrison. Bruins regain.
Good work by Harrison getting back off the turnover.
Loschmelis flips a pass to the right side for Bancroft. Stood up by Edwards. Minton, top of the left circle. Right in front, Loschmelis, backhander, scores! Don's Loschmelis. Another one of those names we were talking about earlier. Bruins are hoping to pop this weekend. Gets a power play goal and puts Bruins up 4-2.
And Minton showing great patience and vision. He saw him coming out of the corner, but he delayed just enough. Held the puck for that half a beat to enable him to be in stride, cutting in front. And there was nobody for the Devils to get back. With the man advantage, there's going to be some space. There's going to be an area that you can't cover, and there was no net front coverage. And nice goal scored by Loschmelis, and now suddenly it's a 2-goal lead.
Boston 2 for 2 on the power play here in this second period. Devils look to answer back quickly once again. Aminaho along the near boards. Vermette gets involved in the play. Milovsky looking for space. Here's Bertuzzi cutting to the side of the net. Hit the outside of the post. Milovsky throws one in front. Sticked away by Hrebic. Off the backboards came ricocheting back out in front. No arm, no foul there for Boston. Johansson able to evade a check. Gets tangled up in the near corner now to his side. Diot trying to pinch in, poked away from him and out into neutral ice by Vermette. Lachance took a hit from, was that Hansel on the near boards?
Yeah, he got that hip out, and Lachance felt that. It's a little slow getting up on the bench now, catching his breath.
Lecomte lost the puck coming through the neutral zone. Dylan Edwards brings it back on the attack, shoots it just wide of the short side, and came back around the near side post, and Cronin had a crack at it.
There was an opening.
Karabas lost it at the blue line. Here's Schmaltz with Edwards down the middle, deflected off of Dowd as he tried to get that puck across to him. Nice job by Jimmy Dowd Jr. to make that play.
As we mentioned earlier, his dad, longtime NHLer, including Stanley Cup winner for the Devils.
Here's Dylan Edwards with a shot off the end of the glove of Bennett.
Senior made a living offensively. Junior's going to have to make a living defensively.
Junior out of Penn State. 3:15 left here in the second period.
He'll start his professional career in Adirondack this year. Adirondack, the ECHL affiliate of the Devils.
Puck trickling down in behind the Bruins net, and we're going to get a penalty coming up here against Jackson. Edward got the stick in to the skates of Philman. A tripping call will put the Bruins shorthanded for the third time in this game.
Well, I mentioned it at the start of the second period. The Devils have had moments during this tournament where the other team has gained control, but the Devils have been able to rally. Now, I don't know that that's going to happen today, but a good start would be scoring on this power play to make it a one-goal game. Again, Shane Lachance not playing today for the Devils, the big net front presence. He has 2 power play goals in this tournament.
Devils working it around the perimeter to get started here. Squires plays it around the end boards toward the near corner. Malofsky in front. Squires, save made, and the rebound pinballing around, and they get it on the second opportunity.
And it'll be Malofsky with his second of the game. Opportunistic scramble in front. There were a couple of chances for someone from either side to grab the puck and clear it, but it lay on a bounce nicely from Malofsky, and there's the power play goal that gives the Devils some momentum late in this second period.
So New Jersey 1 out of 3 on the power play today. The Bruins 2 for 2. 2:39 to go here in the second, and it's back to a 1-goal game.
Malofsky has really impressed the Devils' brain trust here. He was not a high draft pick, a 6th-round pick 2 seasons ago, but his smarts, his scoring ability, you mentioned it earlier in the game, Ryan, 26 goals at Baie-Comeau last year, and they just like his size, his smarts. There's a lot to like about a guy, which shows you 6th round doesn't mean anything, just give me the chance, as an icing is called here on the Devils. And while there's no comparison at this point, Jesper Bratt was a 6th-round pick. So, you know, you never know what can happen. I don't know that that's Malofsky's upside, but certainly he is an NHLer with a few more seasoning thrown in.
Yeah, especially the guys from overseas. You know, it's you take flyers on guys in the late rounds, and you never know what can develop. Plus, these guys get drafted so young that, you know, how are they going to develop physically? How are they going to develop mentally in their game as they get opportunities like this?
And how do you handle it? How do they develop mentally? You're the best of the best forever. Best kid in the town, best kid in the region, maybe best kid on your national team. But there's a long way to go still. And you're challenged all the time. And how do you handle some setbacks? How do you handle when it doesn't come as easily as it did earlier in your career, whatever time point that was?
Devils able to beat an icing there.
Not sure that was the right call, but it's Sunday and we roll on.
Hadwin was able to slip around McKinnon and get body position, and threw a check in the corner as well. He's had an eventful period. Here's Harrison trying to leave it for Minton, turned over instead. LeCompte brings the Devils back. Carabas going into the far corner against Johansson. Pass came right back through the slot, but Minton steers it for Bancroft. That missed. That'll be an icing against Boston. We've got 54.2 left in the second period. Bruins leading 4-3.
9 shots in this period for the Bruins, 10 for the Devils. So things a lot more even than they were after one. Devils still with 7 more at 20-13. And of course, what was a 1-1 game is now 4-3 late in the second in favor of Boston.
Just updating the scoring. Minton gets the lone assist on Los Melis's goal for Bruins, and scramble in front of Hrebeck here. Philman stepping into a shot. That's blocked by Minton. Bancroft trying to clear it. Can't. Edwards out of the corner for Boston. Johansson floats it in the direction of Minton. It jumped past Campbell. Malofsky's power play goal set up by Bertuzzi and Cam Squires. Final 20 seconds of this second period. Rebick hands off to Johansson at the back of the net. Jackson Edward played it in front of the Bruins bench for Loschmelis. Turned over, trying to get it into the blue, in across the blue line. And we've got another penalty coming up as Bertuzzi goes down. And Loschmelis having to retrieve his stick, which was used in the infraction. He's headed into the box with 1 second left.
Yeah, and that's, you know, Ryan Mujanel can't be happy with that. I mean, it's in the neutral zone. I know you're thinking I got to stop the guy from advancing, but time was going to wind down.
So they'll drop the puck here to close out the period, and then New Jersey will have a minute 59 of power play time to carry over into the third period. There is the face-off, and not enough time for the Devils to get off a shot. So we end the second period with Boston on top 4-3. And New Jersey will have a big opportunity with some fresh ice to start the third to try and get the game tied. We are coming to you from the Lecom Harbor Center in Buffalo. Final game for each of these teams in the 2025 Prospects Challenge hosted by the Sabres. And Matt and I will be back for the third period in about 15 minutes. Right now, we'll take you to more of our features for both the Bruins and the Devils on this joint broadcast across both teams' websites. Stick around, third period action coming up.
We got
Fonder kid. His ceiling is higher. It's a value pick. It's worth the swing.
for 58. You feel comfortable apex or? Okay.
Fondrick. Greg Moore said, whoever takes Fondrick in the second round is getting the steal of the draft.
17th pick in the second round, the Carolina Hurricanes selected Charlie Serrato from Penn State in the Big Ten Conference.
Yep. What do you want to do?
Go with Fondrick.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we're gonna pick.
Go ahead.
Yep.
With the 18th pick in the second round and the 50th overall pick, the New Jersey Devils select Conrad Fondrick from the National Team Development Program in the USHL.
Dubas will let me know after 60.
What do they have? Because this kid that we do want is going to go within 10 of 62. Where are they?
Who is it?
This kid's Keevan.
What's his upside?
This kid is a scorer.
Okay.
You good?
Yep.
All right, Tony, Ben Keevan, New Jersey Devils.
Those are two offensive players. Those are two guys.
Guys, great job. Want to just how much I appreciate all your hard work and dedication, and you know, just the passion you have for these players, Mike, and I appreciate that. And that's what I ask you to do: is show me the passion, and fight for your guys. And at the end of the day, we'll make a decision like we just did on something. But I really do appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for all you do. Okay.
Good job. Dakota, baby daddy.
Philip E. Hagens to the Bruins at 7.
The Boston Bruins select from Boston College.
James Hagens, elite playmaker, makes his line mates better. Boston College, he'll likely go back there for year 2 this year. He falls to the Bruins at 7, Megan.
It's a dream come true to be able to go back to Boston. I wanted to play college, and Boston was the city. To be able to come back and play for the Bruins, it's unbelievable. I loved Happy Gilmore. It was my favorite movie, so seeing him up on the screen, and then you're sitting there and you're hoping he says your name, and there it is.
I think it's pretty good.
Might be on the green.
There he is. The Bruins, eh?
Oh boy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is this thing rolling? Yeah, I am. Why is this guy's fault here? Must look good today. Oh, here we go, boys. I'm going 5 on Jaegeroff. A lot of bodies here, huh? All right, let's go, Red. Come on, Red. Come on, Red. Come on, keep it going. That's it. Good stick. Okay, keep going, keep going. Ozone draw. You're never tired in an ozone draw. Oh! Where'd that get stuck?
I don't know what you guys play in the show. I'll never get there.
I'm a college guy.
You, right?
Yeah.
I was looking you up before.
Yeah.
ECAC guy.
There we go. We gotta find one here. Yeah. Yeah. What a stop. I don't know, probably not.
Come on, dude.
Good try, man.
He's quick though down there.
He is quick. I should have shot it. Thought I could get him. It's just a bad move. Come on, Brenner!
Too much skating. Too much skating.
I started way too far from the net. Are we shaking mitts here? Attaboy. Should we probably get like a salute or something? That's it, boys.
My favorite moment from the season that I was here for was Nico's first career hat trick. That was definitely the loudest the building was this year, or at least the games that I was at that wasn't a playoff game, but that's definitely the most memorable moment of the season for me.
I think my favorite part was Nico's hat trick. That was the best. That's the first hat trick I've ever witnessed in person. Or when we won against the Rangers, the first shutout was the best. Whenever we beat the Rangers, it's fun. I enjoy to see it.
Probably them getting into the playoffs.
Oh, Paul Cotter. Oh, I love that guy. Paul Cotter scoring almost every shootout goal. Oh, it's great.
Bringing Amelia to her first hockey game.
Yeah, and then now we've got 3 generations of Devils fans. And growing.
It has to be Simone Nemich's game winner. Game 3. I mean, that was probably one of the greatest moments.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was actually here for like one of the first times Mrs. Fields won, and I thought that was crazy.
I actually became a fan of Devils because of this guy. He got me into the Devils. I've been going to like home games ever since. This is my first playoffs, so I'm pretty much a fan for life now.
When I hear someone saying, I can't draw, I love that. Everyone can draw. What I basically do is teach people how to see. If you can see, you can draw. People think you draw with your hands. You draw with your eyes. My name is Jerry Winnick. I own Pencil Work Studio with my wife Karen in Little Falls, New Jersey. We started the business in our house. We did framing in the basement. We did classes in the dining room. And I love teaching. It's the most satisfying thing I can imagine. It's why I'm still doing what I'm doing.
Jerry and I got married 42 years ago, and through the time we started to do the artwork, we did outdoor shows. As we were doing the shows, people were saying, do you teach classes? So we brought everything into the house. When the store opened up, we took it, we grabbed it, and we ran with it.
I love drawing pictures with just a pencil and paper. It's my greatest joy to be sitting at my board drawing. Even better than that, I love teaching it, having other people learn what I can do.
Store's been doing great. Classes are good. We're constantly getting phone calls, especially for kids. And then a lot of them just move on to Jerry's class after my classes.
Pencil drawing is lights and darks and shapes. That's all it is. It's not what you think you see, it's what you actually see. Once you learn how to do that, anyone can draw. I promise you, anyone can draw.
When you open up a small business, it's your dream, and you just want your dream to keep on going and to be successful. We work 6 days a week, and on Sunday we're bored, and we can't wait to come back to the store again on Mondays.
What inspires my sports drawing, especially the Devils, is my love for the team and my love for particular players. The Marty Brodeur that I did many, many years ago, I thought he was the greatest player in the Devils history. Of course, there's a statue of him out there. Thank you to the New Jersey Devils and citizens. We're proud to be a business that's made in Jersey because I realize that small business is the backbone of the economy, and I'm so happy to be a big part of that.
Hey Bruins fans, Morgan Geeky here. I'm gonna restart. Hey Bruins fans, Morgan Geeky here. We're here in Calgary, Alberta. Excited to have Bear Tracks here for the next couple days. Excited to see you guys follow along. It's called Bear Tracks. Tune in. At Ducker Performance Center, Northeast Calgary. Ross, my trainer, kind of put me through the ringer today. We did some, strength work, some squats, bench press. And some conditioning at the end. This hurts. Throughout the year, you kind of get worn down with the schedule and stuff. So just being able to, keep that strength up as long as you can and go into camp, over prepared, I think it's good and, starts you off on a good foot to start the year. Welcome back to my channel. Jake kind of said earlier to me that during the year you really only get to touch a puck for a minute and a half every game and then 4 minutes of practice. So it's get a lot of touches out here and work on skills that kind of translate to everything. Kind of just try to cover your bases, and the league's so skilled now that it's kind of have to. Make sure you clip all 5 of these shots. Bad luck. You need to come back here. Down by 2. Goals, and if you mess up the pass, it's -1. It's 9-7-6. Oh no! All square. Everyone has 16. How'd it look? What's up, guys? We're here at the Calgary Zoo, and we're going to see if we can spot some giraffes and maybe a couple other animals. Come spend the afternoon with us. Cole, can you see the sheep?
Do you see them, Gabby?
Do you know what we're going to see? The polar bears. Do you know what color a polar bear is?
Yeah.
What color?
Black.
Close. It's white. That's horses. Yeah, there's fish down here.
Yeah, I think the first preseason game for the Bruins is a week from today as well, so it'll be against the Washington Capitals. Two each against the Caps, Flyers, and Rangers in the preseason for Boston.
One against the Flyers, and they will also be playing up in Quebec City, and that will be against Ottawa. That'll be on a split squad day. Devils will be home for the Caps, and then another bunch of players up in Quebec City. Power play underway, but the Devils are hemmed in their own end.
Gotta love the split squad. You don't see it. Usually that's reserved for spring training games.
Exactly. All right, here's Bertuzzi. 45 gone by in the power play. And Malofsky, who has 2 goals, turned it over. He looks at his stick in disgust as he skates back defensively. Here's LaChance for Boston. Tries to center. It's blocked away. Bruins have done a good job on the penalty kill today. Here comes Cam Squires. Former Cape Breton Eagle. Drops it from Malofsky, but not a crisp pass, and the Bruins able to clear with 45 to go.
Yeah, doing a nice job in the defensive zone in particular, just converging on that puck, not giving Devils a lot of time and space as they look to get set up.
Roosevelt now for Philman. Gets it to the blue line. Carabas moves down the right wing side. 30 to go in the man advantage. Devils looking to tie, and they do. And it is their leading scorer, the surprise of this tournament from a Devils standpoint, Nathan Lecomte, who scores his 4th goal of the tournament, and we're tied at 4.
Almost looked like that shot caught Hrebic by surprise a little bit. He was just a touch late getting down into the butterfly, and that puck managed to squeak through the pads. So that's 2 power play goals for each side in this game. And it's a tie game. Just 1:34 into the 3rd period.
Lecomte, with his 4th, an 18-year-old, played for Chicoutimi last year, and I don't think anyone expected much of anything. But he had other thoughts, and while he's going to go back to junior, might be an Adirondack guy, at any rate, he's gotten noticed. He's opened some eyes, and we're tied at 4.
18-year-old, 4 goals and an assist in the 3 games of this tournament.
And it didn't take long for that puck to get off his stick either. You mentioned Hrebic might have been caught by surprise. That was right on the stick and off the stick quickly. So face-off outside the Boston zone. Devils have Squires, Malone, Roosevelt as the forwards. Reed and Edwards defensively. McKinnon and Johansson defensively for Boston. Johansson steps into Squires behind the net. Riley Duran lays it off, and now we're going to have a fight behind the play. It's McKinnon and Squires. Squires caught a right. Now he recovers an uppercut, and they're going toe-to-toe just inside the blue line. Well, McKinnon, as they spin to the ice, more of a fighter than Squires, but Squires handled himself well.
Yeah, McKinnon, 68 penalty minutes in 55 games with Moncton in the Quebec Major Junior League last season. He's got some size to him, 6'2", 197-pound, 20-year-old out of Riverview, New Brunswick. He's a former Nashville Predators draft pick, taken in the 3rd round a couple of seasons ago.
Didn't catch what necessarily happened. Squires did get checked behind the net. Maybe it was just simply that. He took a little exception to the hit. But I didn't see anything necessarily egregious, but I'm never going to turn down a good dust-up.
And sometimes in these games, guys are looking for a reason too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Little fisticuff action can help get you noticed.
I remember 3 tournaments ago, might be 4 now at any rate, Arbor Jack Guy, Montreal was playing in this tournament, and he squared off against someone from Ottawa whose name I don't recall. But at any rate, it was a quick fight, and Jack Guy certainly announced his intentions that he wasn't going to stay in the minors for too long, and of course now he's a very accomplished player for the Canadiens. That shot deflected out of play. But it was that anticipation. I think each side knew it was going to happen. I think Ottawa's big guy thought, all right, I got to show something. But it was Jack Guy who came away the clear winner.
Yeah, I thought on Friday we might see something from Ty Cheveldayoff, who's not dressed today for Boston, but he was in the top 5 in penalty minutes in the ECHL last year with 175. So, guy who certainly knows how to handle himself. Did not find a dance partner on Friday.
And if you asked me before the game who would a potential Devils dance partner be, I would not have put Cam Squires in my top 3, but he went with McKinnon, and they're off for the Fighting Major early in this period. Game tied at 4. Devils scored on the early power play. Blockered away by Hrebic.
I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but sometimes it works out that way. You know, 5'8" Dylan Edwards is certainly not on the top of anybody's fight card, but ended up dropping the gloves during the game on Friday.
And the game has changed dramatically. We know that there's no going back, but there is still room for a good fight. Here's Campbell. Physicality, still part of this game, or at least it should be. Long range shot, knocked down in front, poked away by Hrebic. Still loose, kicked away then by Johansson. Or check that was not Johansson, but Schmaltz. Good alert play there, and now he has the puck. Wrist shot off the shoulder of Bennett and recovered by New Jersey. 4.5 gone by in the third. So glad you could join us on this Sunday now afternoon. It's hockey time. Again, camps open this week, and off we go. Vandalist is like, what happened to my stick? I think he feels that there was a holding the stick minor that might have been called, but no, we will play on as well we should. Puck was knocked down by a high stick and played by Boston, and so we will have a face-off. For those who are wondering, and through the course of this tournament, not only this year but previously, they don't give us the names of the officials for whatever reason. They're not listed. But these are guys who work the American Hockey League. This is the start of their season as well, as they get ready for the start of another campaign. Off the draw, Roosevelt fanned on the try. Here's Bancroft, tied up by Roosevelt, but now Boston on the attack. Minton, who has a goal. He opened up the scoring in the first period.
Just like the players, the officials are looking to improve on their game and potentially move up to the next level as well.
There are a number of women who work in the American Hockey League as officials. I'm wondering when we will see our first female official in the National Hockey League. I don't think it'll be all that long, but you got to earn your way. We saw a woman umpire this year in Major League Baseball. Second, there was one who had worked earlier, Pam Postma, but
NBA and
long time.
NFL have had female officials now for a while.
Long time, yeah. Bertuzzi has it poked away. Malofsky looking for the hat trick, has the puck in deep. Sanders, it gets through. It went past both Bertuzzi.
Aminaho was on that back post, had the best opportunity at it.
I don't know how that puck came all the way through. Aminaho. Now it's driven in deep by the Devils. Diot with it. Aminaho lays it off Malofsky, and it's back to Aminaho, but his shot deflects off a stick and off the glass. Devils pick it up. Bertuzzi drives one on goal. Hrebic with the save. Hansel for Aminaho. And not able to keep it in is Malofsky, so the Devils regroup at center ice. 4-4 our score. Boston led 1-0. Devils tied it up. Boston led 2-1. Devils tied it up. Boston scored 2 to make it 4-2, and then the Devils with the last 2.
Boy, Bertuzzi does not shy away from contact, does he?
No, he uses that body. You know, he's had some injuries throughout his career. He's bounced around a bunch of teams. Vandalese sends it wide looking for the tip from Philman. 12.5 to go in the third. Carabas' shot blocked by Chandler, who's upended. Play rolls on. Here's a break for Met. Looking for a step. Cuts in front. Shot. I'm not sure from this angle whether or not Bennett got a piece or maybe it just got rolled up in Jimmy Dowd, who hustled to get back defensively. Drive from the corner by Schmaltz, stick to side.
Like the instinct by Vermette there, though. He read that play well and took off, went right to the net, got the setup from LaChance.
Devils dump it in. Both teams will make a change. Matt Lachlan along with Ryan Johnston. It's a group effort here between the Devils and the Boston Bruins, both on the air and behind the scenes. Edwards checks Edwards.
Edwards on Edwards crime. Bruins are going to get a power play here.
Yeah. And stick taps as Squires and McKinnon exit the penalty box after their fight. So Ethan Edwards goes off. And a power play opportunity for the Boston Bruins.
Bruins have cashed in on both of their power plays already this afternoon. Interference is the call here against Ethan Edwards.
So 8:17 the time of the call. Chance to break the 4-4 tie. Boston's got 2 power play goals. They've looked good with the man advantage. Here's Harrison, top of the right wing circle. Now it's Minton. Goes cross ice to Gallagher out high. Now back to Gallagher, a blast blocked and cleared. Good play by Hadlin, stepping in front of the shot. He quickly comes off on a change. Boston comes out of its own end. Gallagher sweeping it back. Minton feeds it to Gallagher, far point. Slides it for Bancroft. Now it's Minton, back to Bancroft. Devils try to work it free. It does come loose. Who will get to the puck first? It'll be the Bruins, and it's sent wide by Loshmelis. .58 to go in the man advantage. Again, a tie up in the corner. Gallagher keeps it alive. Loshmelis with it for Gallagher. Now Bancroft goes cross ice. Return pass, and Harrison fires it off the glass. That was a pretty setup.
Harrison's already got 2 assists today. Had a good chunk of net. Tried to go top corner and just missed it.
Minton skating behind the net. Finds Harrison along the near wall to Gallagher, moves forward, cuts to his left. Loshmelis' shot knocked aside with the blocker by Bennett. Down to 20 to go on the power play. Still the Devils can't clear. Tired PK unit out there for New Jersey. Gallagher out high. A long-range wrist shot goes wide. Campbell picks it up, works it off the glass, and that should just about do it for the Boston power play.
Well, they kept the pressure on for most of that 2 minutes. In fact, that top unit stayed out there for pretty much the entire 2 minutes.
And you don't have to score, but you can gain momentum with a good power play. We'll see what the Devils can do here. More than halfway through the third, we're tied at 4.
I like Ty Gallagher, too, as the quarterback of that unit. He was moving the puck around well, certainly not afraid to shoot, has a little bit of mustard on that slap shot.
Yeah, made good decisions. Heady play at the blue line.
He scored one of the two. He scored one of the 2 power play goals in the second period for the Bruins.
Malufsky has it poked away by McKinnon. Now Vermette will pick it up near side, can't clear. Hamanaho gets back to get a stick on it, but now McKinnon will use the glass, and heading back is Ethan Edwards out there with Jim Dowd Jr. Both teams making a change. Malofsky redirects in, he'll come off. Hrebic had his pocket picked, but Philman couldn't do anything with it.
Wonder if that's a case of, guys who aren't used to playing with each other need to be a little more talkative back there. Hrebic didn't realize he was out of time.
Yeah. Chico Resch, my partner on the Devils Hockey Network, is frustrated by that lack of communication time and time again. He's like, fellas, just let the goalie know that someone's coming on him. Icing is the call here, 8:07 to go in the third.
Yeah, there's just that familiarity when you talk to goaltenders and defensemen of, getting to know each other, getting to know what the goalie likes to do in that situation. Is he going to go back and move the puck right away, or is he going to wait for somebody to come get it? That time looked like he was going to wait, but Devils got to it first.
Couldn't convert, didn't even have a scoring opportunity, but Philman with the pickpocket, and off the draw we get another icing. We've mentioned his name a few times today, Cooper Simpson. Young kid who's going to North Dakota. High draft choice.
Yeah, third rounder this year
for the Bruins. And leading scorer among high school players in Minnesota. Off the draw, here's a chance. Durant shot high over the crossbar.
Yeah, Simpson had 83 points in 31 games for Shakopee High School out in Minnesota this year. We talked about some of the gaudy numbers you see in juniors.
It was Simpson who went cross ice to Edward. Now it's Washmelis for Edward in front for a redirect. He picks it up behind the net, sends one out in front and scores. He went far over the blocker of Trenton Bennett, and Boston regains the lead 5-4.
The defenseman Jackson Edward activating there, bringing that puck around behind the Devils net. Came out the near side looking to shoot. Head up and able to pick a corner. Jackson Edward had 1 goal and 7 points in 31 games in Providence last season. Also spent a little bit of time up with the Maine Mariners in the ECHL.
Rick Kowalski now the coach in Maine.
Right.
Longtime member of the Devils organization. And was over with the Islanders, and in the change there with Lou Lamoriello no longer in charge and Matthew Darsh taking over. There's a change in coaching, and Kowalski's found a home. Good man. Like Rick a lot.
We'll see if the Devils can answer again. They have mostly every time the Bruins have scored within a minute, maybe 2 minutes at most, New Jersey has answered back each time.
And maybe knowing that, Malone quickly fires a shot on goal. That was gloved, so now 6:45 to go in the third. You hear the announcement of the Edward goal at 12:32. As Malofsky's on for the draw. Won by Boston. McKinnon slowed down by Bertuzzi. Turnover. Malofsky with a shot. Blockered away by Hrebic. Hamanaho with a hit that frees the puck. McKinnon comes back and knocks Hamanaho down to the ice. Berzinski moves behind the net, and now it's up to Cronin. Schmaltz with the shot. Ooh. Bennett fought that one off. That was not a clean save, but he kept it out of the net.
There's a little bit of a window in there to try to sneak it inside that near post, and a good, solid backhand shot.
A little juggle try by Trenton Bennett. The third of 3 goalies brought by New Jersey. Each played a game. Backing up today's Tyler Brennan. He won the opening game against Columbus.
Jake Schmaltz with that shot. He's A little bit on the older side for this tournament, 24 years old, out of University of North Dakota, turned pro back in March. He's signed to an AHL deal in Providence this season.
Here comes Davis across the line, tries to get around Edward, could not. Upended, lost control of the puck. And now Luke Reed back in his own end. Jakub Malik, the third goalie for the Devils. He's in street clothes today, and he was the winner against the home team Buffalo on Friday night. Buffalo playing tomorrow to wrap things up. Pittsburgh and Columbus will follow here. You'll have to go to NHL.com to find out more about that game, as icing is called on the Boston Bruins. Devils bring Philman, Carabas, and Lecomte out. Boston can't make a change. Hansel and Diot are the defensemen. Lecomte wins the draw. Philman shot high and wide. Now here's Lecomte. Has a goal today. Angles one for Diot. Shot blocked by Cronin. And he'll clear to center ice. Cronin was a healthy scratch in Boston's first game. Getting a chance this afternoon. Gallagher. Johansson. Pinching in is Squires. Keeps it in the zone. Gets by Johansson. Wheels it around for Hansel. Under 5 to go now in regulation. Devils need a goal to tie. Squires works it to the far corner. Chandler gets there first. Now it's Vermette. Banks one up and taken by Lachance. One-on-one with Hansel, who reaches, pokes it away, and then Squires from behind, lifting the stick of Lachance. Here comes Philman. His shift over, he'll just dump it in, and the Devils will make a wholesale change. Jim Dow Jr. Pass up the center of the ice was tipped away by Loshmelis. Squires recovers. And now the Devils break out 3-on-2. They come across the line. Roosevelt with a shot over the glove, over the crossbar. There was an opening, but the puck was not put on target. Duran lifts it clear. We've got a stick. We've got 2 knobs on the ice. And at this whistle, we'll be able to clear the mess up a little bit.
I just want to make mention again for Bruins fans, this game is probably the last time we see this uniform combination for the Boston Bruins. The new home and away jerseys are going on sale next Saturday starting at noontime. Jerseys will be available online at bostonproshop.com, in the person at the Pro Shop powered by 47 at the Hub on Causeway on level 1 of TD Garden. And if you stop by the Pro Shop next Saturday or Sunday, you can also enter for a chance to win tickets to opening night.
And I'm sure those uniforms will be shown proudly by all the fans, or most of them. There's always some who want to keep the old school and all that. I get it. There's room for all of us. Edwards with the shot, stick safe made, and the puck is cleared. I was watching the Yankee-Boston game yesterday, and I turned to a friend as we were watching, and I said, I can change with the times, but I never thought I'd see neon colors like that on a Boston Red Sox sweater or jersey. But yeah.
Takes some getting used to, that's for sure.
A little bit. Penalty coming up as Edward took down Haminaho. A late power play for the Devils on the trip, and a chance to tie with the extra man.
Yeah, I like some of the tweaks that they have made to the new uniforms. Really sharp. I think the social media team did a terrific job with the rollout of that over the summer. If you saw the video with Michael J. Fox and Charlie McAvoy and Cam Neely, it was terrifically very well done.
I guess Cam and Michael J. Fox know each other from Vancouver.
They go back quite a few
BC,
years, yep.
Clear by Boston, and Diot in a race with Durant. Now here's Roosevelt. So it's Malone, Roosevelt, Philman, Diot and Carabas for the Devils. Minton, Duran, McKinnon, as Carabas wires one wide.
McKinnon broke a stick here too.
Advantage momentarily for the Devils. Johansson, the other player out there for the Boston Bruins. Malone plays it in. 1:23 to go in the power play. Devils need a goal to tie. Diot can't keep it in. Malone with it. Waits for Roosevelt to clear. Well, Devils back in with 1:08 to go in the minor. To Jackson Edward. A loose puck and a clear.
See how quickly they pulled Bennett here with the power. Another 50 seconds on the power play.
I was thinking the same. What is Ryan Parent, the head coach of this prospects team, thinking? Takeaway and a nice clear by Gallagher.
Chance to get a little 6-on-4 time.
35 seconds left in the power play. If he does not come out and the Devils don't score, there'll be 1:15 remaining in the third period, and the Devils need one to tie. Here's Squires with the shot. Save, rebound, Squires again, another save, another rebound. Not cleared. Edwards knocks it down at the blue line. Now it's Malofsky. Down low, Bertuzzi is denied. Rebound loose, it's still free. Hamanaho knocked down. Here's Ethan Edwards. Time winding down on the power play. Edwards looks around. Edwards inside the blue line. Now for Squires. Out of the box is Edward. We're skating 5 aside. 1:10 to go now. Hamanaho with it. Bennett to the bench for the extra skater. 6 on for the Devils. Ethan Edwards fakes. Moves to the corner. Centering try. Deflected out of play.
Really nice job by Ben Hrebic in goal for the Bruins there. Faced some good opportunities, but got himself square to the shooter each time, controlled the rebounds. New Jersey able to keep the pressure on, but it was one shot, clear it away from the net, get set up for the next one.
By the way, while we have just a brief moment, a timeout now called by the Devils, I want to thank our good friend Blaine Sayers, who is working with us today, now a member of the Boston Bruins content team. I'll call it that. There may be a more official title. And our loss is Boston's gain, and I know this will be his second year, and he's excited to return there.
This has been exciting to get a chance to be here this weekend. My first go-round at this tournament, as we've kind of upped the level. Well, it might be arguable, but we've upped the level of the broadcasts a little bit this year with play-by-play, and it's good to see the teams working together to make sure that the fans have an opportunity to really get a look at some of the future prospects for all of these organizations.
Yeah, we're happy to be working with the Bruins today. We were happy to work with Columbus in Game 1. The Devils have had a presence at this tournament for many years. So 6 on for the Devils. Following the timeout, the Bruins players are tapping their sticks on the wall in front of the bench, trying to give it a little juice in the final minute 2 with the extra skater on and an empty net. Devils need one to tie. Here's Squires now for Edwards, for Diot. Aminaho, far circle in front. Bertuzzi has it poked away, then fires one on net, and the save is made. Good stick work by Hrebic, and then he makes the save.
Yeah, Hrebic, Bertuzzi kind of double clutches that shot, could have thrown off his timing, stays with it, keeps that right pad down on the ice, gets the save, gets another face-off.
To his left, Malofsky and Minton on the draw. Malofsky with a pair of goals today. Devils control it at the blue line. Squires goes cross-ice elevated. It got past Malofsky, and now the puck is punched back in. Edwards had bumped into the linesman. Bruins say, no, that puck came out, but play continues. Now it's Gallagher gloving down the pass, just gets it across the blue line. Empty net for Duran, squeezes down the wall, and he scores. He got past Edwards, and that'll do it. That'll make it 6-4 with 17.3 to go.
Well, coming out of Friday's game, you looked at the Bruins, and they were able to put some scoring chances up in the third period, but they only got the one goal to show for it. Wanted to see more jump in the offense today. 6 goals on 21 shots, including that empty netter there. A couple of power play goals. I think the coaching staff and front office will be thrilled with the offensive performance today in comparison to what we saw on Friday.
And the Devils' defense, which had been pretty stout through the first 2, dinged for those 6. 5 with a man in net, but 6 will be the final total. And while they certainly would have liked to have won this one, and the game was tied at 4 early in this period, I think the Devils staff will come away believing, rightfully so, it was a successful trip to Western New York.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, there's not a lot to play for as far as wins and losses go, but you don't want to come here to play 2 games and leave with 2 L's. And the guys, I think, put on a good push throughout the 60 minutes today here for Boston. New Jersey having, a chance to go 3-0. Really good pushback every chance they got today. The Bruins scored. New Jersey answered back very quickly almost every time.
But in the end, couldn't overcome the last 2 goals. The game-winning goal from Jackson Edward at 12:32, snapped a 4-4 tie, and then the empty netter by Duran, and 6-4 is the final score. Ryan, it's been a pleasure. Great way for me to spend a Sunday afternoon, the early part of it.
Absolutely.
Safe travels home, and
same
looking
to you.
forward to a great year for both the Devils and the Bruins, and we'll see you 3 times this season, including the last game, at least the Devils' last game of the regular season.
Yeah, hopefully not
Boston.
either one of our last games of the year.
From your lips to God's ears, as they say. So that'll wrap things up from Buffalo. For Blaine Sayers and Ryan Johnston, I'm Matt Laughlin. Thanks so much for watching. The regular season is quickly approaching. The preseason will start for both squads a week from today. And fans, it's going to be an exciting year for both clubs, and looking forward to what 25-26 holds for all of us. Have a good day.